We're talking with Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com and SBR contributor John Ryan, previewing Week 13 in the NFL here on the SBR TV NFL Experts Roundtable. Now let's just get to the Monday night game. Now the Monday night game, I'm kind of leaning at Jacksonville as a home dog, and that violates one of my basic handicapping principles, which is never bet on teams that suck. But in this case, they're at home as an underdog against San Diego, and San Diego looks like they're on a different level than sucking. They just look like they're falling apart, like they have mental disorders on the field. San Diego is just looking lost. And, I loved betting against Jacksonville last week when they were against Houston, but I'm just thinking Jacksonville on the money line getting plus odds has to be a good bet. Scott Kellen, do you agree?
Yeah, that's the way I would lean. I mean,
Okay.
taking Jacksonville is kind of scary in its own right, I think. But I've been going against San Diego. I think I was just looking here. I think 9 out of 11 games this year I've gone against them. I think I've lost twice, the Miami game and at Denver. So I've obviously not been a big fan of San Diego at all. Jacksonville, I think, was down 5 defensive starters last week. And some of those guys aren't key guys, but some of those guys are key guys. So what kind of an effect that'll have as a whole as we go through this, I don't know. And you look on paper, you still continue to kind of look and say, okay, San Diego's a better team, but they're decimated. I mean, I think they're down 3 offensive linemen now, but they certainly have better skill players than Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's offense is so anemic that it's very hard for me to take them. But with all that said, you've put a gun to my head. I think I got to take Jacksonville. I just can't see taking San Diego and haven't for most of the year. So I don't have much of an opinion on it, but I would lean towards Jacksonville.
That's how I see it too. I mean, Blaine Gabbert, that guy is having some issues, but I mean, San Diego, John Ryan, what do you think? Do you think that this is a good play, and if so, how good?
I think Scott has it pegged pretty well there. I think you have a slight lean towards Jacksonville at this point. Now, I happen to actually be in Florida Sunday and watch that game on TV. And at the end of the game, Jacksonville had an excellent opportunity to tie that game and send it into overtime. And it was kind of disappointing because it was one of my 5-star plays on the thread, Peter. I didn't like seeing that. But a third down and long, and they complete this great pass. So they have like a 4th and 2 with 2 timeouts remaining. Del Rio didn't call timeout. And they ran a 4th down play with 1 receiver in the pattern. Of course, it was incomplete because that's what bad teams do. And that was the end of the game. And I just wonder whether that mismanagement, to ownership, just was like, oh, this is enough. We have to do it now. Because that was, something that was, beyond even Andy Reid's capability in terms of mismanaging a game. So, I guess what my point is, Peter and Scott, is that I think, you see it in baseball a lot. They change managers, and the team has been losing. They haven't been doing well. And all of a sudden, this new guy comes in, and they're playing like world champions. So that could easily be the case here with Jacksonville having a breath of fresh air, a chance to really calm things down, and then they just go out and play the game.
Right.
So I would have a slight lean towards Jacksonville, but nothing real strong that I can sink my teeth into at this point.
Yeah, you mentioned the behavioral and emotional disorders that Jacksonville obviously has and exhibited last week, but they're not as severe as San Diego's, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I would agree 100%.
All right, well, we'll see how it turns out. Thanks so much once again, guys. Thanks to Scott Kellen of SixCentSports.com and SBR contributor John Ryan for previewing Week 13 here on the SBR TV NFL Experts Roundtable. Thanks, guys.
You got it.
Thanks, Peter.